Hi, and welcome to Salesforce's Release Readiness Live for Summer 16. I'm Mike Torres, and it's a pleasure to be back as we take a look at some of the latest features and developments that our Sales Cloud has to offer for Summer 16. We are going to be looking at some items on our product roadmap today. So to properly set our expectations there, let's review Salesforce's forward-looking statement slide. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this slide, it urges Salesforce customers to only make purchasing decisions based on currently available functionality.
As Mike just mentioned, I am with Pardot, and so for you B2B marketers out there, do I have a treat for you? So with Summer 16, we are going to be releasing Engagement Studio. Engagement Studio is an entirely new, reimagined way to nurture your leads and customers through your buying cycles. And we designed Engagement Studio really with kind of three big pillars or themes in mind. The first one is around ease of use. So we wanted to be able to allow you to have a whole lot more complexity and configurability with your marketing workflows directly on one canvas, while still maintaining simplicity and ease of use. It's really hard to do. I think we've done that very beautifully with Engagement Studio. You don't have to be a developer or programmer in order to build these workflows. You don't even have to know a programmer to build them. The only person you need to know is your buyer. If you know your buyer, you've done all the heavy lifting already, and we will do the rest with you. So ease of use was a big pillar for us. And again, I'll show that off to you here in a minute. The next big design pillar theme was around control. And this is giving you a level of control and granularity that you've never had before when creating these campaigns. So you'll be able to pivot and make decisions in real time based off of not only customer activity, so things like form submissions, landing page views, email opens and clicks, what are they doing or not doing in real time, but also really crucial qualifying criteria like profile criteria, or even score. And score in Pardot, a Pardot score, is actually a numeric value that's a representation of buyer interest or intent. And we'll talk about score a little bit when I get into the demo here. So I'm able to make all these decisions in real time off of all this activity and information. It's in this canvas, we're really harnessing the power of marketing automation directly in one feature, allowing you to deliver the right message to the right person at the right time every single time. And the next big design pillar was around confidence. And confidence is a little bit twofold for us. It's confidence to know that the logic that you created in your workflows is really what you meant to create. And so I'm going to show you a really interesting and cool way to test your programs before you publish them. But the second half of the confidence coin, I guess, is around reporting. How do you know that your programs are performant? And if maybe they're less than performant in certain areas, how do we call out those areas for you very quickly and easily so that you can make decisions and guarantee success going forward, making edits? So without further ado, I'll quit talking about it and I'll actually show it to you. So I'm going to hop into a demo here. And I'm going to do a little role play. I'm going to play the role of a marketer at an expense management company called Lennoxsoft. And I'm going to come in and create an engagement program. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to give it a title here. And I'm going to nurture cold leads. I've been given a list of leads that have either gone cold or they're just cold. They're a spreadsheet that was given to me by my boss, and I need to warm them up very, very quickly and get them into the hands of an AE very quickly. So when I place that start card on the canvas, I'm presented with a blank canvas. The world is my oyster. So I've got this plus icon here that I'll click on, and I have three different step types available to me: actions, triggers, and rules. And I'm going to walk us through each of them as I go along. Actions are literally the action that the system's going to take on a prospect or a lead at any given point in time in the workflow. In lead nurturing, sending an email is the most common use case to kind of kick things off, but you can also do things in your workflows like creating a Salesforce task for somebody on the account team to follow up with that person, changing a field value that maybe drives something in Process Builder or another workflow somewhere else. I can assign to an AE or add them to a Salesforce campaign with a specific status. So I'm going to use email, again, because it's the most common use case, and it's going to be how I'm going to start getting these people engaged with me. So I'm going to send my first outreach email directly from an AE. And as you can see, I'm going to hover over this guy here and actually see a preview of the email I'm going to send. I've got a couple of calls to action here. The call to action that is really important, this is really high value content, sends the reader or the lead to a white paper download about expense management. And we have seen historically that when someone clicks on this link or this call to action, they really are very, very interested, very warm, and need to be followed up on very quickly by an AE. So we're going to go ahead and send that email out immediately. And then we're going to set a trigger. And triggers listen for prospect or lead activity over a specified period of time. So again, things like those form completions, landing page views, et cetera. We're going to check, in this instance, for that specific link click there, that read more button that takes you to that expense management download. So I was able to see all the links that were in that email and select that one call to action. And we're going to wait for a maximum of up to 5 days for them to click that link. And what you'll see when I place that on the canvas is we're making a decision. Did they do that or not within 5 days? If they click on that link right then on day 1, in real time, we're going to send them down the yes path on day 1. We're not going to wait till day 5. We're going to take action when they do. But let's say 5 days has passed and they haven't clicked on that link. We're going to then send them down the no path, and that gives you the opportunity maybe to follow up with another email with different content, something like that. I'm just going to place something there on the canvas to show you what I mean by the no path there, but I'm going to focus on the demo on the yes path. So we're going to come back over here to the yes path, and I'm going to show you the last step type here, and that's rules. And rules you can think of are more like kind of condition or value checks in the system. Things like profile criteria, like we talked about, or score. So let's do that. I'll show off a couple more that we have. We've got, you could check for a person's campaign membership or their current campaign status, their current Salesforce status, and so on. So we'll check for a default field status of job title. Let's say the job title contains chief. Big dog. So great, another decision point's been made for me. I'm going to keep going down the yes path, and we'll set one more rule here, and that's that Pardot score I talked about earlier. And maybe at LinuxSoft, our scoring model is something that any score over 300 really shows buyer intent and interest. Somebody who has a score over 300 is a good lead that we want to follow up on. So you're starting to see my canvas build out here with all these decision points and pivots that I can make, again, in real time based off of this activity or lack of activity. So again, focusing on that yes path, I know that this person has clicked on that really high value call to action. Their job title contains chief, so they've met some really light BANT criteria. They may be a good person to purchase. They have authority. And their score is greater than 300. I want to get this into an AE's hands today. So first, before I do that, I'm going to actually adjust their score by 50 more points. So I'm going to get them way up there so that when that AE sees that lead record in Salesforce, they're going to see that value there and they're going to know this person's engaged. I want to call them now. And let's get them to an AE. So I'm going to assign them to a user. Today we will assign directly to Adam Blitzer, the head of the Sales Cloud himself. You're welcome for the business, Adam. You can also assign to a group in Pardot. That's a round-robin assignment. You can assign to an active Salesforce assignment rule as well, so you don't have to assign directly to a user. But in this case, Adam gets all these deals. So, and then maybe after that, I want to create a task for Adam to follow up. And I can do that here and assign it to him. Maybe I don't have all the fields ready or the information ready to create that status. That's okay. I can place a blank status here on the canvas and come back and fill it in later. I'll only be asked to fill that information in once I start the program. So in the essence of time, I'm not going to continue building out the rest of these paths, but hopefully you're getting the idea that all that powerful marketing automation data and prospect activity or lead activity is directly here on one canvas. And the list of triggers and rules and actions is only growing as we go. So, but before I publish this program, obviously I want to finish it, but maybe I might want to test this logic and see what the yes path looks like. So this is that confidence pillar we talked about. So I'm going to click on test, and you'll start to see this orange line follow me through the program. And it's stopping at decision points, allowing me to make real-time decisions on that lead's behalf to say, yes, let's say they did click. Okay, then does their job title contain chief? Yes, it does. And is their score greater than 300? Sure. And what you're seeing over here is this test log built out for me to remind me when I get to the bottom exactly what brought this lead here, right? And I can, start the test over if I'd like. and make different decisions on their behalf if I want to. But again, giving me that confidence that I need in order to publish this program and really allowing Engagement Studio to be that second set of eyes for you right out of the box. So on the other half of confidence, I know I mentioned reporting, so I'm going to leave this program and pop over to another program that's been running for a little while. So as you can see, I'm now on the reporting tab of a different program. This one's a little more complex, not too complex. It's got some different branching in here. But what you're noticing is you're still looking at your workflow. We're not popping you to a flat file or a data table. We're not taking you out of the paradigm of your workflow as you think about it. This is how you design your programs. This is how you talk about your programs with your coworkers. This is how you think about them all day long. We don't want to take you out of that visual experience. All we really want to do is overlay the important statistics directly onto the canvas for you. And that's what we've done with these tooltips here. So you're seeing 6,009 people have started this program. I can open up any of these cards here and see maybe what's going on, how many people, what percentage of people have completed the program versus started, when was it started, et cetera. All out of those 6,009 people, I can drill down into any of these tooltips here and see the prospects that were included in that number there. And here I have table actions available to me. Maybe if I want to do a little housekeeping, tagging everybody, maybe adding them to another segmentation list, I can do that from here as well. But again, drilling down further into each of these steps, I can drill down to any step and see more step level statistics based off of that particular step type and the asset that was placed there. So we've got our Linuxsoft email. I can drill down and see the full email template from here, see the numbers of folks that are waiting or who was sent, click to open, et cetera. If I'm opening up a trigger or decision point, I can see raw numbers that brought me to these percentages, again, with full drill downs into any of the prospect records or asset reports themselves. We do have a flat file available to you if that's what you would like. You can export this via CSV, and you can also hide your tooltips as well. Maybe if you're showing this off to a group and you want to just walk them through the logic, you can do that and then overlay your statistics and wow your coworkers. So that completes the Engagement Studio demo. But again, hopefully you're able to get a taste of really that ease of use, control, and confidence that I talked about earlier directly in this one feature. We're extremely excited to see where this goes. And I would love to hear what customers are thinking and asking us from Sam.
So Ada's asking, is there any chance to have emails delivered based on individual time zones in Pardot?
It's a great question. Not at time of general availability, but it is something that we have talked extensively about with our email deliverability team, and it's something that we certainly have, in our minds going forward, but not quite yet.
Okay, great. And that bit.ly for the community group is bit.ly, and it's SF Pardot. So people can. I would love to see the membership jump to over 1,500 in that group
from this webcast alone. Help me out.
Help us. Go join the group. If you're a Pardot user or just want to find out, go join.
Great.
I'm looking we've gotten a lot of big wins. I don't have a lot of specific questions, but I do have one from Erica, and this might be kind of a roadmap thing. Pardot gives us, she's hoping that Pardot gives us workspaces next.
As far as, could you elaborate a little bit more?
So Erica, what we're going to need you to do is elaborate in that community that I posted about, and then we'll take the question at length in the community. How does that sound?
Sure, that sounds great.
All right. Yep. So Mike, I think what we need to do is go back to any final business that you want to do, and then I can do some more rapid fire questions based upon availability and time.
Let's do the rapid fire questions first, and I'll just save the last 30 seconds for my business.
All right. Okay. So let me bring some of those up. So I'm going to go back to a great question related to the autofill on accounts. How does that work with duplicate management, and how do you prevent duplicates in your system?
That's actually a really good question. I am not the product manager. Despite owning accounts, I'm not the product manager for that feature, but I can certainly talk to the product manager about how it integrates with duplicate management. Today, I can add that same account over and over again if I don't have dupe rules put on or turned on, so it doesn't necessarily out of the box prevent you from creating that same record.
All right, all right. So I can see that I'm going to go do some playing today and tell you what my results are in the community, and then we'll ask that in the community because it's a really good question. Let me go back down. So I'm going to go to calendar because that's we've got some great questions here. Can you talk to us about this new calendar feature and how that, is there any relationship at all to today in Salesforce 1?
There's not a direct relationship to today in Salesforce 1. Today actually allows you to show meetings from your device on the calendar. But I will say, when we have integration with Salesforce IQ, you will be able to see meetings from your external system like GCal or Office 365 in a calendar. So it will have some similar functionality in that sense. If that was the kind of specific question around the way today shows you stuff from your device, so that kind of integration will be in our calendar too. If there's other specific connections, we can follow up in the community, and I can talk more to that.
Okay, and then I've been getting questions about things like tasks and how they show up in the calendar, and how is it related to tasks in Outlook. If you've got Salesforce for Outlook, that integration running, so the tasks are coming up to Salesforce. If it's an object in Salesforce, then you can show it, and with date fields, you'll be able to show it in the calendar, correct?
Yes.
So in answer to that question, because I saw that a lot, it's not it's because of Salesforce for Outlook, or if you have Cirrus, one of the other kinds of products that are out there for Gmail. If you're integrating and bringing that data in, then the calendar is going to be able to see that.
Yeah, and those products are either using the standard task object, which, as you saw, you can put on a calendar, or they're going to create a custom object, which we can also put on a calendar. So yeah.
All right. So that's going to answer, Kimber, your question about does the Google Calendar work? If you have a third-party app that's creating that integration with tasks, then you can do that. So I love this question. This is very interesting. So this is going back to when we were talking about email in the new, and this new email object, this new UI, and it becomes a message or an object. Is that just for read-only purposes, or can I actually use that to reply to somebody?
The Composer has the email Composer has a UI that looks a lot like an email as well. Okay. And when the email is sent out, an email message object will get created. Okay. I'm not sure if that answers the question.
I think what they're looking for is whether that object has some interaction capabilities of forwarding or sending once that email is stored.
I see. I don't know. I don't think we have done much around that yet in terms of that type of interaction. That's more of a UI, I think, probably interaction. We should follow up with our product team around that and get specific around that in the community.